Atlanta News First Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe. Atlanta News First Investigator Sierra Cummings.
Atlanta News First Investigates Andy Parati explains what's at stake here.
Atlanta News First Consumer Investigator Better Call Harry here now looking into that lawsuit.
Investigative reporter Anastasia Almos has been covering this issue for months.
Atlanta News First investigative reporter Andy Parati walking us through what happens next. At least 10 people are dead, 35 others hurt. We do know a UGA student was critically injured.
And we have live team coverage from Atlanta to New Orleans, beginning with Atlanta News First investigative reporter Anastasia Almos.
That's right. Atlanta News First Investigates has just confirmed that the 42-year-old suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, graduated from Georgia State University in 2017.
Equifax now being forced to pay up over allegations that it messed up credit reports for thousands of people.
Atlanta News First consumer investigator Better Call Harry here to break down those allegations. Harry?
Well, I'll tell you, all three credit bureaus that we're talking about are required by federal law to investigate your dispute and make corrections.
Now, the entire Atlanta News First Investigates team is looking into the letter from the Inspector General's staff.
While answers to some questions may take weeks, even months, one thing is clear to our chief investigator, Brendan Keefe. He's here now with an analysis of what the letter really says about accountability in Atlanta's city government.
This is absolutely legal. A new law that went into effect this year requires clerks statewide to disclose how much money they personally pocket from passport fees. This after Atlanta News First years-long reporting. When you apply for your passport, the $130 application fee by law must go to the federal government. The $35 processing fee goes to the clerk's office.
The recommended ban now heads to the Federal Aviation Administration. That's the agency that decides whether the recommendations are implemented. And according to our analysis, very few of them do.
Right.
Renters have been contacting Atlanta News First Investigates with concerns about their heat not working. Atlanta News First investigative reporter Anastasia Almos is here. And Anastasia, you've been looking into this. What are renters' rights, and especially when it comes to the heat?
Especially right now. And as a renter, you know, you have a right to what the law calls a habitable situation.
Doing what they have to do to make sure the road is clear, but they are not otherwise directly engaging with the protesters. We did see them pushing some protesters back, but it was more of that classic forming a line of officers and then directing them back toward the sidewalk. Once they were on the sidewalk, the police then just sort of held that perimeter.
All right, so here's the takeaway. Do not fall for promises of a large return or an advance. And if a company claims to have the secret to a larger refund, please run away. If your return is complicated, we recommend hiring a CPA, a certified public accountant. But if you use a tax preparer, please ask them if they are, I'm going to try and say this right, an IRS enrolled agent.